Check, 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 check.
And then when I go down here, you can only bring it here.
I can, but I'm trying to see if this will work. Just to see if this will even work. Testing, testing, test, test.
You guys are toasty.
Test, test. I don't think it's working.
No, we're not.
No.
Heaters are coming.
Settings are the same.
Oh, you got no wind.
So I sat last
Check,
Saturday,
check.
it was colder on the inside.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear? Can you hear me? Can you hear me on this speaker? Can you hear? Is it on? Ah, that explains. Check, check, check. Can you hear me now, Wyatt? How about now? There we go. Oh, here. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Are we good now? Can you hear me? Yeah? Perfect.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Loop, Red River Exhibition Park, for the second last day of racing. Yeah, it's a little bit chilly, but you know what? That's racing weather, and that's what we've got for you today. 9 races on the card today, including some really, really nice stake races. As a matter of fact, we're going to start off the first race today with a stake race. It's the Silk Lace Stake Final Purse. Let's take a look at it and see exactly who we think is going to finish in what order. I'm going to start off with AK Black Badger as my number 1 pick to be in the winner's circle. Started 6th last week against a number of these same horses, quickly worked her way into the 2nd spot, and stayed there the rest of the way, finishing only a length back. This week, she draws the rail position. I think that makes a difference, and she ends up in the winner's circle. My number 2 horse for race number 1, Mocking Millions. The filly's been a contender in every race she's entered at the Loop this season, including winning 3 straight earlier this year, and that is significant. Started 7th last week, finished 3rd. The only reason I'm not picking her to be the winner today is because of post position. And then finally, I'm taking AK Night Lady, the number 4 horse, to finish in 3rd place. A winner last week running against both Black Badger and Mocking Millions, but she started that one right along the rail. This time the filly will be in tough to repeat, and I think it'll be a close finish for 3rd. So anyways, that's my picks for race number 1, 5, and 4. And don't forget, this is race number 1 of the Daily Double. So in race number 2, if you're picking the Daily Double, pick horse number 1, Total Power. So your triactor and exactor, 1, 5, 4, and also your Daily Double for race number 1 and 2 will be 1 and 2. Now let's throw it over to the professor, Mike Williams, and see what he has to say.
Nice to join you up here today, Frank in the booth. We've got the Silk Lace Stake final, and we have a good 6-horse field here. I'm going to take the 5-horse Mocking Millions. I'll tell you why I really like this horse today. In fact, he's made over 28,000 so far this year in 14 starts. Money speaks loud. But take a look, September the 16th. This horse finished 5th, and the Trevor Williams stable know this horse needed a break. They laid him off almost a month, came back last week, raced pretty strong, finished a very competitive 3rd, and I think he's ready today. This 3-year-old filly is ready today, and I like Mocking Millions' chances with the combination of Blake Canute and Trevor Williams. AK Night Lady beat this field last week. Horses made just over 17,000, 9 for 10 in the top 3. Will be the early speed. You take a look at the 1 horse, AK Black Badger, the entry. So my gut tells me Mark will leave out of here hard, and I don't think he's going to have too much resistance from the inside with Michelle Ray. AK Night Lady will try to repeat what she did last week, and paced a good mile in 2-1 and a piece. Wide open for 3rd, go with the trip horse. AK Black Badger will appreciate a strong trip, I think, behind the entry, AK Night Lady. And we'll see what they have coming home. But Frank, I really like the 5, 4, and 1 in race number 1. And my Daily Double will be Mocking Millions, the 5-horse, with the 3-horse Fallout Girl. Kind of a windy day today. Hope everybody has fun. The racetrack looks fantastic, and I think we're going to have a super day today. And good luck. We'll see everybody back in race number 2.
Race number 2 going to be coming up a little bit later. Race number 1, the Post Parade, going to be coming up in a few minutes from now. Stick around. It's just mere moments away from pacing race number 1 on a beautiful Saturday afternoon here at the Loop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the horses are on the track for the first post parade of the afternoon. Race number 1, the Silk Lace Stake final purse for $12,228. Let's introduce you to everybody who's taking part. Horse number 1 is AK Black Badger, driven by Michelle Ray, trained by Kevin Hildebrand. Your number 2 horse coming around is Pixie Chick, driven by Daryl Mason, trained by Sherry Mason. And number 3 horse, Little Bitty Baylor, driven by Dean Ray, trained by Aiden Taggart. Your number 4 horse with the green is AK Night Lady, driven by Mark Filion and trained by the same. Your number 5, Mocking Millions, driven by Blake Panook and trained by Trevor Williams. And your number 6 horse for race number 1, Shirley Scooter, driven by Richard Remillard and trained by Don Howlett. All right, the horses are heading down the back stretch for race number 1 this afternoon. So let's reintroduce you to everybody taking part in the Silk Lace Stake Final. Starting from the inside rail and moving out, number 1, AK Black Badger. Number 2, Pixie Chick. Number 3, Little Bitty Baylor. Number 4 is AK Night Lady. Number 5, Mocking Millions. And number 6, Shirley Scooter. The horses are going to get themselves positioned behind the starter's gate, and we are mere moments away from pacing. All right, the horses are set. 6 across. Swing open that gate and let them ponies accelerate. Folks, we are racing race number 1 from the Loop Red River Exhibition Park on a Saturday afternoon. It is the start of the Silk Lace Stake Final Purse. Diving down into that first turn and jostling for position, it is going to be AK Night Lady breaking and taking the first lead. It is going to be AK Black Badger behind. Couple of AKs. Night Lady in the lead, followed by AK Black Badger. And it's Little Bitty Baylor and Pixie Chick rounding out your top 4. AK Night Lady continues to lead as we pass the first quarter at 31 even. AK Night Lady putting on some little extra speed and making some room between herself and AK Black Badger, followed still by Little Bitty Baylor and Pixie Chick. Then it's Mocking Millions and Shirley Scooter bringing up the rear of the field. AK Night Lady continues to lead as we come around the clubhouse turn and into the home stretch for the first time. AK Night Lady with not quite as much of a lead as beginning. AK Night Lady, AK Black Badger as we come towards the halfway point. It is going to be AK Night Lady still in the lead at 101 and 4 as we pass that halfway point. AK Night Lady, but now the horse is starting to make a bit of a move as we go around the outside turn, and it is still AK Night Lady with AK Black Badger in the lead, but looking on the outside now, it is Little Bitty Baylor starting to make the outside move, but the first 2 horses, AK Night Lady and AK Black Badger, answer back and say, no, you're not doing that. We're going to put on a little extra speed and make some more room for ourselves. As we head towards the 3/4 pole, it is still a 2-horse race with AK Night Lady, AK Black Badger at 132 and 3 on your 3/4. AK Night Lady now is putting on a little speed, coming up abreast of AK Black Badger. The 2 of them side by side as we come around the final turn. AK Night Lady, AK Black Badger. It is a 2-horse race as we get ready to come down the home stretch. It's going to be an exciting finish. It's Black Badger, Night Lady, Black Badger. The 2 of them duking it out. Horses number 1 and 4. It's going to be a close finish, and at the end, it looks like AK Black Badger took it, with AK Night Lady in second and Mocking Millions picking up the 3rd position. But again, in a time of 2:02 even, it looks like your winner is AK Black Badger. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is official in a time of 202 flat. Your winner of the Silk Lace Stake Final in a purse of 228 rather, is AK Black Badger. AK Black Badger, driven by Michelle Ray, trained by Kevin Hildebrand. The 3-year-old Bay filly is by Andriola Hanover out of Honey Badger. Honey Badger, sired by Towner's Big Guy. And AK Black Badger is owned by Kevin and Lynn Hildebrand. Again, at a time of 202, your winner, AK Black Badger. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your winner at a time of 202 flat was AK Black Badger. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your winner at a time of 202 even was AK Black Badger. AK Black Badger paid 210. AK Night Lady 210. Mocking Millions 210. Your exactor was $4.60, and your 145 triactor paid $12.30. So on your program, ladies and gentlemen, top down, market 164,235. Again, 164,235. That's race number 1 in the books. Race number 2 coming up in a couple of minutes' time. All right, let's take a look at race number 2 and see what we see in our crystal ball as far as our picks are concerned. Coming up for race number 2, the number 1 horse I think is going to be Total Power. The 3-year-old went wire to wire last week to win her first race of the season. And I really do think Lightning is going to strike again today. If you look at all the times the rest of the field has turned in this year, Total Power right there in the mix. Perhaps maybe only failing one time, or the only failing the horse has whenever she starts on the post is where she has a tendency to finish. So I think that ends today, and she makes it her second appearance to the winner's circle in as many weeks. My number 2 pick for race number 2 is Fallout Girl. After starting 4th last week, Michelle Ray drove the 4-year-old to place almost 10 lengths behind the winner. She went a couple of weeks back, but I think second place is in the cards today. And finally, my number 3 horse this time around, Irish Eve. She's starting along the rail for the first time this season, but I don't see the consistency in her runs this year to make her the winner. Out of the 12 starts this season, she's won once, finished third 4 times. I think she's going to add to that total today with her 5th third-place showing. So, from my side of things, my prediction is for race number 2, 2, 3, 1. That's the way to go as far as I am concerned. But I'm sure he has a differing opinion, so let's turn it over to the professor, Mike Williams, and see what he has to say.
Thanks again, Frank. Just a little recap of race number 1. Congratulations to the connections of AKA Black Badger and Mark Fillion. Just a perfect, superb drive by Michelle Ray. Just set in the pocket till the counted at the 3/4 pole, got alongside the entry, and got the job done right at the wire. And it's good to see the combination of trainer Mark Fillion, first and second in race number 1 in the Silk Lace Final. So let's go right to race number 2. I love Fallout Girl. One of the best bets of the day for me, I think. This 4-year-old mare. She's been 6 for 11 in the top 3. First and second the last 2 starts. And you go back to September the 30th, paced a mile in 2, 2, and 3, and you look at the remaining 5 in here. This horse, on paper, should be at least 5 to 10 lengths the best in my opinion. And I think Michelle Ray is going to get back-to-back wins, I think, with Fallout Girl. I'm going to go to the far outside, the 6 hole, currently at 1 to 4. And really, I think I tell you why. Take a look, Blake Panouk aboard for the first time here with Bits and Bites. And I don't know if people realize, 86 starts. Now take a look at this, because I don't think you'll see this anywhere in Canada or even North America, the stats of what this guy has done this year. 86 starts, he's got 50 wins, 13 seconds and 9 thirds, with a 700 driving average, which is phenomenal with that amount of starts that Blake Panouk has had this year. He steps on Bits and Bites for the first time, and I think that's what you're reflecting on the tote board when you see 1 to 4. You're seeing more Blake Panouk than you are Bits and Bites. But I do like him for second. I just think Fallout Girl is just too tough. Wide open for third, captivate the crowd with Clayton Baybrook, drives aboard. This horse looks just to be the best of the rest with 11 starts this year. Pace of miles in 2.5 and 2.6, and I think that'll be good enough for third. But I think, Frank, it's going to be all Fallout Girl. I like the 4, 6, and 3, and it looks like the horses are entering the track for the post parade. I'll set Frank up, see everybody back in race number 3.
Thanks a lot, Mike. And yeah, the horses are starting to come onto the track for race number 2 this afternoon. Triactor and Exactor betting for a purse of $6,400. So as they get a little closer to the grandstand, we will introduce them to you and let you know who is going to be racing. All right, folks, let's introduce you to everybody taking part in race number 2 this afternoon. Your number 1 horse is Irish Eve, driven and trained by Corey Manning. Coming up to the grandstand, number 2 is Total Power. Total Power, driven by Dean Ray and trained by Roland Ray. Your number 3 horse is Fallout Girl, driven by Michelle Ray and trained by Mark Fillion. The number 4 horse, Captivate the Crowd, with Clayton Braybrook at the controls and trained by Corey Manning. Your number 5 horse, that's Mark Fillion, the driver and trainer for Mrs. Little Bozo. And number 6, wearing the yellow pads, is Bits and Bites, driven by Dean Ray and trained by Aiden Taggart. We're minutes away from pacing. It is going to be race number 2 at the Loop on a Saturday afternoon. The horses have been called to the starter's gate, so as they head down the back stretch, let's reintroduce you to everybody taking part in race number 2 this afternoon. Starting inside along the rail, it is number 1, Irish Eve. Number 2 is Total Power. Number 3, Followed Girl. Number 4 is Captivate the Crowd. Number 5, Mrs. Little Bozo. And number 6, Bits and Bites. As the horses line themselves up 6 across from the starter's gate, we are but mere moments away from pacing. The horses are set. Go ahead, Mr. Starter. Swing open that gate and watch them ponies accelerate. We are racing race number 2 from the Loop, Red River Exhibition Park, on a Saturday afternoon. As we head into turn number 1, taking the early lead, it is Followed Girl. Followed Girl taking that early lead, followed closely by Total Power. And on the outside, it is Captivate the Crowd, your top 3, followed by Mrs. Little Bozo, Bits and Bites in the back. It's Followed Girl continuing to show the way and plow the field for everybody else as we head towards the first quarter time at 30-3. Followed Girl, followed by Total Power, Captivate the Crowd, Mrs. Little Bozo, then it's Bits and Bites, and Irish Eve. Going into turn number 2, Followed Girl continues to show the way as the horses are lined up single file. Followed Girl followed very closely by Total Power, and a bit of a break between the number 2 and number 3 horse with Captivate the Crowd, Mrs. Little Bozo. Coming down the stretch towards the halfway point for the first time, it is continuing to be Followed Girl at the halfway point at 101-4. Followed Girl, Total Power, Captivate the Crowd, Mrs. Little Bozo. Then it is Irish Eve and Bits and Bites. Bits and Bites is starting to make a move now, starting to put on a little bit of speed and challenging on the outside right, but it continues to be Followed Girl's race right now with Total Power very closely behind, about a half a length back. But watch out, here she comes on the outside. It is Bits and Bites starting to make a move coming from the back of the pack. It is Bits and Bites starting to put on a little bit of speed on the outside right as we pass the three-quarter pole at 133 even. Followed Girl, as she has from the very start, continues to lead, but look out. Here comes Bits and Bites. Bits and Bites trying her best to do some challenging for that lead. Bits and Bites is trying to move up. Right now, though, it is still Captivate the Crowd. Captivate the Crowd coming around the final turn into the home stretch as she has from the very beginning. Looks like it's her race to lose, and she is not going to do that. It is going to be Captivate the Crowd. Great lead power from Bits and Bites. And coming in for third, it is going to be Irish Eve. But your winner at a time of 2:04.1. It is Captivate the Crowd, the leader from the very beginning of the race all the way through. Nice run. Your winner at a time of 2:04.1, Followed Girl. Wearing the white pads, it's Followed Girl. All right, it's official, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Follow Girl, your winner at a time of 2:04 and 1. Now in the winner's circle, Follow Girl, driven by Michelle Ray, trained by Mark Fillion. The 4-year-old Bay Mare by Andriolo Hanover. Out of Miss Namaris, and Miss Namaris, sired by Matt Namaris Band, owned by Mark Fillion. Again, your winner, 2:04 and 1 the time, Follow Girl. So on your program from top down, mark it 361-542. Again, 361-542. Looking ahead to race number 3, ladies and gentlemen, we have a scratch to tell you about. Scratch in race number 3, the number 3 horse, Tagoras. Again, for race number 3, make sure to scratch the number 3 horse, Tagoras. At a time of 2:04 and 1, your winner in that race was Fallout Girl. Fallout Girl pays $360 to win, $210 to place, and $210 to show. Your number 2 horse was Bits and Bite, paying $310 to place and $260 to show. And your 3rd place horse was Irish Eve, paying $260 to show. Your exactor paid $3.20, and your triactor paid $15.50. The daily double paid $6.10. Again, your winner in race number 2, it's in the books and official, Fallout Girl. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's look ahead to race number 3 and make our prognostications on what we think might be happening this time around. For the number 1 horse, I'm going to go out on a bit of a limb this time, this race, and take some long shots to end up in the winner's circle. This time around, I'm going with Gray Z. The morning odds might have this 10-year-old gelding at 7-1, but I think the odds are a little off. Earlier this year, Gray Z started 3rd and 4th in back-to-back weeks, finishing close 2nd both times. Today, Gray Z starts 1 away from the rail. Plus, there's a reason this year's number 1 driver decided to pilot this horse, that being Blake Panoff. Gray Z will be in the winner's circle at the end of this race. I think your number 2 horse is going to be Buddy Light. Finished 3rd a week ago with a decent time of 2:02. 26 races so far this year. Buddy Light has finished in the money 50% of the time, and that's got to say something. Starting on the rail is going to mean the gelding is in the mix right until the very end. Watch for a strong 2nd place finish from the number 6 horse, from the 6-year-old rather. Buddy Light is going to be in 2nd place. For 3rd place, I had originally taken Tagoras, but of course Tagoras has been scratched from this race. Again, if you missed that, the number 3 horse Tagoras scratched from this race, so we have to pick somebody else. I'm going with the long shots in this race. Why not? I'm going to take the number 5 horse, Senga Savannah, for no other reason than to try and fill out the triactor and make somebody some money today. So as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be 2, 1, 215. Some long shots coming in. This race, if you do a $6 triactor box, could be the difference between you eating hamburger and steak later on tonight. Now, with his picks on the afternoon, let's take a look at what the professor, Mike Williams, has to say.
Well, let's give a good shout out to Michelle Ray. Great combination. Mark Fillion again. Back-to-back wins as a trainer, and Michelle Ray as a driver. Back-to-back wins. Follow girl wire-to-wire performance, and look good doing it. Congratulations, guys, for a job well done. Race number 2. Let's go right here to race number 3. Currently at was 99 to 1, but now I see he's down to 3 to 5. I'm a mama's boy. To me, he looks the best. Shout out to Ralph Morrill. I know he's watching right now, and I think he should have been here today because I'm pretty sure this horse is going to get his picture taken for sure. Looks like the major early speed in here, and I expect I'm a mama's boy to go right to the top with Mark Fillion. And Mark's having a great day. He has gone to the winning circle twice as a trainer, and I think he's going to win this one as a driver in race number 3. I'm a mama's boy. Looks just too good. Good second place finish. Tough as buff. Lost right at the wire, and I mean right at the wire last week, and looks to make amends today. For second, Chaz Michael. I would have liked this horse if he was a little bit more inside, but don't let this horse go off at 99 to 1. That would be crazy. Back-to-back miles in 2 minutes or less. And Chaz Michael on paper looks like could be the best horse, but at post position 6 makes him my second pick behind I'm a mama's boy in here. And Frank, I like Grey Z for third. 20 starts, yet to get to the winning circle, this 10-year-old. But to look at the last time Blake Manute drove this horse, bottom of your program, he raced back-to-back days, September 2nd and 3rd, paced a mile in 1:59 and 4 and a mile in 2 minutes. Really got along with this horse, so you might have something to say with Grey Z, and we'll see how the race turns out. But I know Blake Manute really did get along with this horse. But I'm going to go with the 4, 6, and 2 in race number 3, and we'll see everybody back in race number 4.
All right, thanks a lot, Professor. And the horses are going to be coming up for the post parade in a couple of minutes' time. We'll bring that to you. And we are but minutes away from pacing race number 3 on the way shortly. Hey, everybody, look at that. The horses are on the track for the post parade. Race number 3 for a purse of $7,300. Let's introduce you to everybody taking place. It is going to be the number 1 horse, Buddy Light, driven by Michelle Ray and trained by Richard Ray. Your number 2 horse coming around, unmistakable. That is Grey Z, driven by Richard Remillard and trained by Trevor Williams. Of course, the number 3 horse, Tagoras, was scratched, so we move on to the number 4 horse, I'm a Mama's Boy, driven and trained by Mark Fillion. Your number 5 horse, Singa Savannah, driven by Tyler Grundy, trained by Jacqueline Grundy. And there's your number 6 horse, Chaz Michael, driven by Richard Remillard and trained by Tara Isman. We are but mere minutes away from pacing. And just so you're aware, ladies and gentlemen, as far as the post parade is concerned, the number 5 horse, Sengi Savannah, that's Arel Vaudin who's doing the parade. Again, Arel Vaudin is doing the parade for Sengi Savannah, your number 5 horse. Okay, race fans, the horse has been called to the post for race number 3. Let's reintroduce you to everybody taking part in this one. Just starting from the number 1 spot on the inside rail, it is Buddy Light. Your number 2 horse is Gray Z. Number 4, I'm a Mama's Boy. Number 5, Senga Savannah with Tyler Grundy as the driver. And number 6 is going to be Chaz Michael Michael. The horses are going to get themselves lined up behind the starting gate, and we are but mere moments away from pacing. Five across, the horses are set. Swing open that gate and let them accelerate. Here we go. Race number 3 on a Saturday afternoon at the Loop. Red River Exhibition Park is where we are. And diving down into that early lead, it is the speed of Chaz Michael Michael, driven by Richard Remillard. As the horses start to find their beginning positions, it is Chaz Michael Michael in the early lead, followed by Buddy Light. I'm a Mama's Boy. Then it is Gray Z, and at the back of the pack, that is Senga Savannah. As we head towards the first quarter in a time of 29 even, it is Chaz Michael Michael continuing to plow the road for everybody following behind, with Buddy Light, I'm a Mama's Boy, Gray Z, and finally it is Senga Savannah at the back of the pack, eyeing everybody up, waiting to make a move. Chaz Michael Michael, as we come around turn number 2, continues to lead by about a half a length. Then tight in behind it is Buddy Light, and even tighter, it's I'm a Mama's Boy and Gray Z. As we come down the home stretch for the first time, it is still Chaz Michael Michael in the lead, followed by Buddy Light, and then it is I'm a Mama's Boy. Halfway point at 59-1 is where we stand. Chaz Michael Michael into turn number 3 continues to show the way and starting to lengthen the lead a little bit. Now out to about 3 horse lengths. Chaz Michael Michael still showing the way with Buddy Light, I'm Mama's Boy, Gray Z following in behind. And after that, it is Senga Savannah and also I'm a Mama's Boy. Chaz Michael Michael still in the lead, now starting to lengthen the lead, passing the 3/4 spot at 129-4. Chaz Michael Michael is laying on some extra speed to try and lengthen that lead between the rest of the field. Looks like it's going to be a 1-horse race, but Buddy Light, I'm a Mama's Boy, and Gray Z is where the battle is going to be for second and third. Chaz Michael Michael coming around the clubhouse turn and heading towards home for the last time. It is still Chaz Michael Michael as a wire-to-wire finish looks like it is in the cards. Definitely, it is going to be Chaz Michael Michael, followed by Buddy Light and Gray Z to round out your top 3 at a time of 2 minutes and 1. Again, congratulations to your winner, the number 6 horse, Chaz Michael Michael, driven by Richard Remillard. Now entering the winner circle, ladies and gentlemen, it's official. Your winner, Chaz Michael, at a time of 2 minutes and 1. Chaz Michael, driven by Richard Remillard and trained by Tara Isman. The 6-year-old brown gelding is by Custard the Dragon out of River Lass. River Lass sired by As Promised, and the horse owned by M. George Isman. Again, your winner at a time of 2 minutes and 1, Chaz Michael. Once again, your winner at a time of 2 minutes and 1, Chaz Michael. Chaz Michael paid $13.60 to win. The number 2 horse, Buddy Light, paid $3.20 to place and $3.20 to show. And Gray Z was your number 3 horse with no money. The $1 exactor paid $21.50, and your triactor paid $6.10. So again, your winner in a time of 2 minutes and 1, it was Chaz Michael. On your program from top down, then, please mark it 2-3 scratch 4-5-1. Again, 2-3 scratch 4-5-1. Stick around. Race number 4 coming up very shortly. Well, before the horses come out for the post parade for race number 4, let's take a look and see what we think might be happening this time around. As far as your number 1 horse is concerned, I'm picking Irish Melvin to finish in the winner's circle this time around. Started along the rail last week, faded to 4th, but then showed some closing speed in the final 2 quarters to win by 3 lengths. You got to love that. His horse and driver combo have been a winning combination 2 out of the last 3 weeks, with a second place thrown in for good measure as well. I don't think really when it comes to this race number 4 there's any doubt about it. Irish Melvin will repeat and be in the winner's circle once again this afternoon. My number 2 pick for this race is Westward Angels. Not a great outing last week, starting second, finished a distant 4th, but 11 lengths off the lead. However, in the previous 2 weeks, this filly won some back-to-back races, already picked up almost $19,000 in earnings this year, and will add to her total today with a check for second place. And my number 3 horse in this race is going to be Be Special. Taking this mare to three-peat today. In the past 2 weeks of racing, she started 5th and finished 3rd. I say it happens again this afternoon as Daryl Mason guides her to another show finish. So, from my standpoint, it is going to be in race number 4, horses 1, 2, and 4. That's going to be my order of finish. To see what he says, let's turn it over to the professor. Here's Mike Williams.
Thanks again, Frank. Wow, what can you say about Chaz Michael? Richard Remillard really impresses me this year. He's our oldest driver here on the circuit, approaching 70 years old, and you never know it. With 63 starts after that last race, approaching close to a 400 driving average. I think Richard must be extremely pleased with that. Very aggressive drive from the far outside, and he never let up. And we got a 2-minute mile, which always very good on these half-mile tracks. Congratulations to Richard Remillard and trainer Tara Isman for a job well done in race number 3. Race number 4, we've got a 5-horse field. I agree with Frank. I'm going to take Irish Melvin, but I don't think it's going to be easy. He did have to pull early. There was a speed duel going on between Westward Angels and Be Special last week, and they went to a half in 59, and as soon as they got things together, Irish Melvin pulled a little early and got by them, and was a really good drive by Blake Panook. May not be easy this time, but I think he's going to be behind Westward Angels. Look for the trip, and you're going to see one heck of a duel between these two, trust me, coming home here in race number 4. But I will give Irish Melvin a nod. Westwood Angels, we saw Richard Remillard get the job done last race, race number 3. And like I stated, it wasn't a speed duel with B Special, and they were just going at each other, and it took the toll on Westwood Angels at the end, finished 4th by 11. But this horse has made $18,500 this year, so no slouch for this 3-year-old filly. Wide open for 3rd, I'm going to go with the 5-horse, Go On Bobo. Mark having a pretty good day with a couple of training wins so far. Did pace a good mile last week, finished second 2-3, and he's been in around 2-1. He's going to be heard from, I think, late in the mile. And another horse that's made very close to $20,000 this year, and that's pretty good, racing here in Manitoba. So it's going to be a good horse race, purse of $6,800. I'm going to go with the 1, 2, and 5 in race number 4. Good luck. We'll see everybody back in race number 5.
Yes, indeed, it is going to be an exciting race, and we will have it for you in a couple of minutes from now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the horses are coming out for the post parade for race number 4 this afternoon. So let's introduce you to everybody who's going to be taking part. The number 1 horse out ahead of everybody else, that's Irish Melvin, driven by Blake Paduk and trained by Trevor Williams. The other horses are coming out in a couple of seconds from now, so we'll hold off, and when they get a little closer to the grandstand, we'll introduce you to everybody else. All right, coming up past the grandstand, here's the number 2 horse for racing number 4 this afternoon. That's Westward Angels. It's Richard Remillard at the controls, who's having a great afternoon. Tara Isman is the trainer. Your number 4 horse today is Beast Special, driven by Daryl Mason and trained by Aaron Mason. And your number 5 horse is Go On Bobo, driven and trained by Mark Fillion. By the way, the number 3 horse is JD's Scooter, driven and trained by Corey Manning. JD's Scooter back in the paddock, just getting a bit of an equipment repair, nothing major, and JD's Scooter will be out on the track very, very shortly. We've got 5 horses in race number 4. They're going to be heading to the post in a few minutes from now, and we will be pacing. Just a slight delay, ladies and gentlemen, as we're waiting for the number 3 horse JD Scooter back in the paddock, getting a bit of an equipment repair. In fact, I think JD's coming out right now. We'll have him run past the grandstand for you to take a look, and then we will get pacing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there he is. That's your the number 3 horse, JD's Scooter, driven and trained by Corey Manning, now passing the grandstand. Equipment repairs all taken care of. We've got all 5 horses on the track, and we are getting ready to go pacing. All right, fans, the starter has called the horses, so let's reintroduce you to everybody taking part in race number 4 this afternoon. Your number 1 horse starting along the rail is Irish Melvin. Number 2, Westward Angels. Number 3, JD Scooter. Number 4, Be Special. And number 5 is Go On Bobo. The horses will line themselves up, and we are mere moments away from pacing. The horses are set, 5 across. As we swing open the gate and watch them ponies accelerate, this is race number 4 on an October afternoon at the Loop Red River Exhibition Park as we head into turn number 1. The horses get themselves set. It is with the early lead, Westward Angels, but pushing hard from the outside. That's Be Special. Westward Angels with the early lead, but here comes Be Special very close by on the outside right, challenging for the lead as well. Be Special, Westward Angels still in the lead as we head towards the first corner. The first quarter is coming in at 30 even, with Westward Angels still showing the way. Be Special follows with Irish Melvin, JD Scooter, and then we've got Go On Bobo at the back of the pack. Westward Angel still showing the way. It's horses Westward Special, or Westward Angels, Be Special, and Irish Melvin 1, 2, and 3 currently. Irish Melvin is in the third spot with Be Special and Go On Bobo following behind. Westward Angels continues to lead as we come to the halfway point at 1 minute and 1. 1 minute and 1. Westward Angels still with the early lead as the horses are in single file and heading into turn number 3. Westward Angels still plowing the road for everybody with Be Special close behind, Irish Melvin, JD Scooter. And then at the very back of the pack, we've got a horse falling off now. It looks to be Be Special. It is Irish Melvin still showing the way with Westward Angels. Be Special, Go On Bobo as we pass the three-quarter post at 1:31 and 1. Irish Melvin leading and lengthening the lead by quite a bit. It looks like it is going to be Irish Melvin's race to lose. The battle is going to be for second place between Westward Angels, Be Special, Go On Bobo. And coming around the turn for the final time, Irish Melvin way out in the lead. Irish Melvin is going to have this one. It looks like no problem whatsoever. The battle, though, is heating up for second place. That is Be Special and also Westward Angels making a late move as well. It's Go On Bobo. That is a tight one, but it looks like it was Westward Angels who took it, followed by Be Special. And coming in at the end, it is JD's Scooter. Your winner at a time of 2:02 and 3, Irish Melvin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is official and in the books. Your winner for race number 4 this afternoon in a time of 2:02 and 3. Irish Melvin, as we predicted from the beginning, Irish Melvin's race, and just right from the very beginning all the way through, led from start to finish. Irish Melvin, driven by Blake Pinook and trained by Trevor Williams. The 4-year-old bay horse is by Mr. Chase, out of She's All That, and She's All That sired by Well Said. And Irish Melvin is owned by J. David Mooney. Again, congratulations to your winner, the number 1 horse, Irish Melvin, in a time of 2:02 and 3. On your program, you could mark it from the top down 1, 2, 5, 3, 4. 1, 2, 5, 3, 4. We'll have your payouts for you in a couple of minutes. Once again, at a winning time of 2:02 and 3, your winner for race number 4, Irish Melvin. Irish Melvin paid $4.80 to win, $2.10 to place, and $2.20 to show. Second place went to Westward Angels at $2.10 to place and $3.20 to show. No money on B Special for the third place. Your Exacta paid $3.80, and your Triactor paid $10.70. That's it for race number 4. It's in the books. Time of 2:02 and 3. The winner, Irish Melvin, will be back to take a look ahead to race number 5 in a couple of minutes. All right, folks, let's take a look ahead to race number 5, and I think this is going to be an exciting one. We've got a couple of very, very fast horses in this one, a couple who are going to be vying for potentially track records in this one. I know HF Flower, the one-time track record holder, is going to be looking to regain the crown today when she squares off against her main rival at the Loop this year so far, PL Jackson. Since debuting at the Loop on September the 16th, HF Flower has been absolutely dominating, including starting 5th in her first race and winning by over 16th lengths. No slight to anybody else, but I think the driver is going to make the huge difference in this one today in the battle between the Flower and Jackson. I think it is going to be HF Flower in the winner's circle. Your number 2 horse this race is going to be PL Jackson. An easy argument could be made, very easy argument could be made for this 10-year-old horse to be the winner of this race. Other than a half-length second place finish to HF Flower last week, PL Jackson has done absolutely nothing but win since coming to Winnipeg and even in Southern Ontario the last 2 times she ran there. Prior to last week, this horse has won 4 straight and has earned the Ray brothers over $55,000 so far this year, far and away the most out of any horse in this field. It's going to be a battle for sure. PL Jackson, though, finishing second again to HF Flower this afternoon. And my number 3 pick for this race is going to be Treasure Horizon. Trader Sherry Mason has this mare really dialed in. with the 6-year-old running back-to-back sub 2-minute times in the last couple of weeks. Starting at the number 4 spot behind the gate, I just don't see her speed matching the two big guns in this one, PL Jackson and HF Flower, and I think it's going to be a solid third place finishing in the cards for Treasure Horizon. So for me, race number 5 shakes out to number 6, 5, 4. Let's turn it over now to the Professor Mike Williams and see what his thoughts are on race number 5.
Thank you very much, Frank. Those of you into the winning circle last race, we had Cliff Cullen, the past deputy premier. One of the big reasons why we're racing here today was the support of Cliff Cullen and the Conservative Party, and as always, much thanks. Every horseman here knows without Cliff and Garth Rogerson, obviously, this loop never would have happened. So shout out to Cliff Cullen for sure. Let's go back to Irish Melvin, Blake Panouk. Going to get tired of saying this week after week. Great combination between Blake Panouk and Trevor Williams. Just a great nether drive. I can't say enough on how sharp Blake Panouk when he gets behind a horse. He's got one heck of a set of hands for sure. Race number 5, I am going to go to the far outside with HF Flower. Did get the job done last week and did come up to pace doing, and it looks from post position 6. We'll have to do the same thing. Just shy of $30,000 made in 23 starts. We'll most likely pick up the cover from PL Jackson, I'm guessing later in the mile, maybe around the half. And we're going to have a battle with, I think, 3 of them coming down the lane with HF Flower, PL Jackson, and Oriental Express. We're going to have one heck of a finish, and I think the photo finisher better watch out for this one. It's going to be close. I'm going to take Oriental Express for second. Does have a lot of early speed. And if take a look on when Michelle Ray, he's had a heck of a day. He's got 2 wins, I think, in the second. And he's razor sharp. He's on the inside. And you see some miles paced in and around 2 minutes. 1 mile and 59 and 3, this horse's win. So Oriental Express might just decide to set his own fractions up front and be hard to catch. For third, you got to go with PL Jackson. This horse paced a 58 mile, which I think is still the track record holder right now. And like Frank said, shy of $56,000 made. Raced one of the best tracks in the world out in Woodbine, Flamborough, all the big tracks. And looks to be a good race. I'm going to go with 6, 2, and 5, a mile under 2 minutes, and an impossible track record of 158 is definitely in the reach with this field. Good luck. We'll see everybody back in race number 6.
Indeed, we are going to be looking towards this race, and I think it's going to be possibly one of the best races of the afternoon. Thank you so much, Professor, for your thoughts and insights. Again, we'll be back with race number 5 in a couple of minutes from now. Race number 5 is looming, and why not? Let's take a look at who's going to be taking part in this great race and introduce you to everybody as the horses come across the grandstand. Your number 1 horse in this field is Tammy Blue, driven and trained by Clayton Braybrook. Your coming number 2 horse is Oriental Express, driven by Michelle Ray and trained by Trevor Williams. Horse number 3 is Pure Addition. That driver is Tyler Grundy, and the trainer is Jacqueline Grundy. Your number 4 horse, Treasure Horizon. Driver Paula Mason for the first time this afternoon, trained by Sherry Mason. P.L. Jackson is horse number 5, driven by Dean Ray, trained by Arthur Ray. And rounding out the field, there's horse number 6, H.F. Flower, with Blake Pinook on the reins and trained by Trevor Williams. 6 horses, 5 minutes or so to go to post time. We will be back with the next race in a couple of minutes from now. Well, the horses have been called to the post as they head down the back stretch to get themselves into position. Let's reintroduce you to everybody taking part in race number 5 this afternoon. Starting from the inside rail, it is number 1, Tammy Blue. Number 2 is Oriental Express. Number 3, Pure Edition. Number 4, Treasure Horizon. Number 5, P.L. Jackson. And number 6, H.F. Flower. The horses are going to get themselves positioned behind the starting gate, and we are but mere moments away from pacing. They're lined up 6 across and ready to go. Swing open that gate, and there they go as they accelerate. We are into racing once again. Race number 5 on a Saturday afternoon at the Loop, Red River Exhibition Park. Diving down into that early lead, it is Oriental Express with some speed, followed closely by Treasure Horizon. Then it is Tammy Blue, followed by Pure Edition. At the back of the pack, P.L. Jackson and H.F. Flower just waiting to possibly make a late move. Continuing towards the first quarter pole, Oriental Express continues to lead the way for everybody. That first quarter coming in at 29-4. Oriental Express followed closely by Treasure Horizon, Tammy Blue, Pure Edition, and then we've got P.L. Jackson and H.F. Flowers. The horses are all lined up in single file. Oriental Express coming into turn number 2, still showing the way with Treasure Horizon, Tammy Blue, and Pure Edition following close behind. All horses are basically spaced out nice and even as we come towards the halfway point of the race. Still no movement as everybody continues to be in single file. Now it is Treasure Horizon starting to make a little bit of a move to the outside, the halfway point in 1 minute flat. Oriental Express still leading the way, but being pressured by Treasure Horizon to the outside right. Tammy Blue, Pure Edition continues, and now here comes P.L. Jackson from the back of the pack, starting to put on a little bit of speed, as we expected perhaps might happen. Oriental Express still has a one-horse lead as Treasure Horizon continues to try and challenge. It is Tammy Blue behind that with P.L. Jackson and H.F. Flower at the back of the pack. Heading down the back stretch, it is 1:29-4 for the three-quarter time as we come into the final turn and getting ready to head towards home. Oriental Express, as he has from the very beginning, is continuing to lead. She is starting to lengthen her lead, as a matter of fact, as we turn towards home and we are coming towards the finish line. It is Oriental Express still in the lead, but now being challenged hard on the outside as the horses try to start and make a move. We have a bit of a break from H.F. Flower at the back of the pack, but coming to home, it is going to be close. Oh, wow. I don't know if we can figure that one out from the booth. We might need a photo finish to figure that one out. That is Oriental Express being challenged by P.L. Jackson. I think we're going to say just hold on. We'll let the judges make the final ruling and see exactly who the winner was in that one. A time of 2 minutes even. We are going to wait and we are going to see if it was Oriental Express or P.L. Jackson. Hang on to those tickets, folks. It's official, ladies and gentlemen. Now in the winner's circle, your winner at a time of 2 minutes even, P.L. Jackson. P.L. Jackson, driven by Dean Ray, trained by Arthur Ray. The 10-year-old brown horse by Mach 3 out of KG Catriona. KG Catriona, sired by Jenna's Beach Boy. And the horse owned by Arthur and Roland Ray. Again, your winner in a time of 2 minutes even. Congratulations to P.L. Jackson. So on your program from top down, please mark it 625-314. Again, 625-314. Again, at a time, 2 minutes even. Winner in that race was the number 5 horse, P.L. Jackson. P.L. plays $5.20 to win, $2.80 to place, and $2.80 to show. Your number 2 horse, Oriental Express, paid $3.40 to show. And your number 3 horse was Treasure Horizon, also paying $3.40 to show. Exacta paid $2.70. Your Triactor paid $19. And your pick 3 races 3, 4, and 5 paid $65.40. Race number 5 in the books. And your winner, once again, P.L. Jackson. All right, ladies and gentlemen, race number 5 in the books. Let's look ahead to race number 6 and see what it is we see for a maiden race. These are a bunch of horses that have never won before, so somebody is going to break the streak today and is actually going to win their very, very first race. We've got a field of 7 horses to tell you about. I'm going to take in this one to win their first race, Choose to Cruise, the number 1 horse. Once again, someone's going to be running their final maiden race, and I think it's going to be this 2-year-old filly. She finished 3rd in her last race, has consistently been showing times around 2:05 last couple of weeks, and I think that, plus starting on the rail, is going to mean a first-time trip to the winner's circle for Choose to Cruise. Your number 2 horse in this race is going to be Who's Your Daddy? Out of 5 races this year, 3 times in the money. Colt will run hard again today, but once again, I think it's going to be the best man and not the groom. That's Who's Your Daddy in 2nd place. 3rd place is going to go to Palmer's Puddin'. Daryl Mason and Palmer's Puddin' have never started this far off the rail in any of their races so far this year, and that's probably probably the biggest reason why Palmer's Puddin winless streak will continue today. I think the 3-year-old filly is the best of the rest and will finish a very close third, but again, will not win and will not break that maiden streak. So for me, winning for the first time ever in their career, it's going to be the number 1 horse, Choose to Cruise, followed by Who's Your Daddy and Palmer's Puddin. For your triactor, you can mark it 1, 3, 5 in this maiden race. Now let's turn it over to the Professor, Mike Williams, and see what his thoughts are on race number 6.
Thanks, Frank. Back to race number 5. Congrats to Dean Ray and Arthur Ray. You take a look at that P.L. Jackson. The last 7 starts, this horse has got 5 wins in 2 seconds. You can't get much better than that. And I guess that's why P.L. Jackson holds the track record. Very good drive by Dean Ray. Congratulations, guys. Job well done in race number 5. Now, like I was telling Frank earlier, this is the toughest race by far. Not only I think of today, I think of the meet. I had a real hard time with this one. I finally settled down with the 5-horse Palmer's Puddin with Daryl Mason. Last week had an excuse. Brooke Stride just passed the half. Stride before that I was quite impressed with as a maiden. Finished second to Shirley Scooter in a time of 2, 4, and 1. So if I'm going to base the program with these 6 horses in here with 2, 4, and 1, Palmer's Puddin should get to the winning circle, this 3-year-old filly. So that's my number 1 pick. Number 2, I'm going to go with the inside, Choose to Cruise. Like I said, Mark, filly on having a good day. Consecutive back-to-back 2 5-miles, draws the inside, and I think we'll get a good strong trip. And Corey Manning has a legitimate shot with this 2-year-old filly for a good piece of the pie here in race number 6. Who's Your Daddy? Also going back-to-back 205 miles with Tyler Grundy aboard, Jackie Grundy. Having a pretty good meet so far, these guys. They got a pretty decent stable. 5 starts, no wins with this one, but does have a 2nd and 2/3, and Who's Your Daddy should be in the hunt. But I think in this race number 6, I think you're going to see Palmer's Puddin winning a close one here. So we'll see everybody back in race number 7.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. And yeah, that is it. Going to be for race number 6, like you said, a hard one always to call. We're going to find out what happens. We're close to 10 minutes away from post time, but we are going to find out in a few minutes from now exactly what shakes out. So stick around. Race number 6 is on the way. We've got a field of 7 maidens coming out onto the track right now for race number 6, this maidens race. Don't forget Triactor and Exactor betting and Pick 4 betting as well. Number 1 horse passing right now the grandstand. It's Mark Fillion, trained by Corey Manning. That's number 1, Choose to Cruise. The number 3 horse is Who's Your Daddy with Tyler Grundy at the controls, trained by Jacqueline Grundy. There's the number 5 horse, Palmer's Puddin', with Daryl Mason and trained by Sherry Mason. Your number 6 horse is Stick 'em In, Let 'em Go, trained by Corey Manning and driven by Corey Manning. And there's Tina, your number 7 horse, driven and trained by Clayton Braybrook. Just a reminder, we have a scratch in this race as well. Number 4 horse, Can't Catch Kenzie, has been scratched. So again, no number 4 horse, Can't Catch Kenzie. And just a reminder, too, we mentioned it earlier, but looking ahead to race number 7, the next race, the number 5 horse, Sky's Little Spunk, has been scratched in race number 7. So again, in race number 7, the next race, number 5, Sky's Little Spunk, has also been scratched this afternoon. Just passing the grandstand right now. First time in a race. Qualified last week for the first time. It's E = MC squared. The number 2 horse in this maiden race, driven by George Isman and trained by Tara Isman. So, welcome to the Loop, E = MC squared. Let's show us what you got. Just coming past the grandstand right now, ladies and gentlemen, that's George Isman, who's driving E = MC squared. George making his first start of the season. And you know, he's one of the most veteran, if not the most veteran driver we have here at the Loop. George has got over 1,000 career wins and still in there and still fighting away with a brand new horse on the track this afternoon. Again, an E = MC squared. We wish him and everybody else in the 6-horse field for race number 6 all the best. So Well, the starter is called the horses to the post, so let's reintroduce you to everybody taking part in race number 6, the Maidens, for this afternoon. Starting on the inside rail and moving out, the number 1 horse is Choose to Cruise. Your number 2 horse, E equals MC squared. Number 3, Who's Your Daddy? The number 5 horse, Palmer's Puddin'. Number 6, Stick 'em In, Let 'em Go. And number 7 is Tina. The horses will line up 6 across, and we are but mere moments away from pacing. The horses are set. And open that gate and let them accelerate. Here we go. Late start and didn't quite get to the gate for E equals MC squared, but the rest of the horses got off nice and quickly as we head down into turn number 2, a maiden race. This is going to be the last maiden race for one of these horses. Heading into the early lead, Stick 'em In, Let 'em Go, followed by Choose to Cruise, Palmer's Puddin', and Who's Your Daddy? As the horses line up in single file and head down the backstretch for the first time, E equals MC squared now catches up to the rest of the pack and takes in the final position. As we head towards that first quarter pole in this race number 6, it is 32-3 your time as we continue to move around the track. Palmer's Puddin' still has the lead, followed by Stick 'em In and Let 'em Go, Choose to Cruise, Who's Your Daddy, and last but not least, of course, it is going to be E equals MC squared and Tina back there. Palmer's Puddin', Stick 'em In, Let 'em Go, Choose to Cruise, and Who's Your Daddy? That's the order of the top 4 as we come down the home stretch for the first time and head towards the halfway pole. It is still Palmer's Puddin' now in the lead, followed by Stick 'em In and Let 'em Go in a time of 1:03.2 at the halfway point. 1:03.2. Palmer's Puddin' still showing the way with Stick 'em In and Let 'em Go, Choose to Cruise, and Who's Your Daddy, your top 4. Following in the back part of the track, it is Tina and E equals MC squared. No change to your orders. We go down the back stretch for the final time. Still Palmer's Puddin' showing the way with Stick 'em In and Let 'em Go, Choose to Cruise. And now Who's Your Daddy starting to make a little bit of a move on the outside right, trying to challenge towards the lead as we hit the three-quarter pole at 1:35 even. It is still going to be Palmer's Puddin' in the lead and a bunch of horses, 3 of them all packaged together for a number 2 spot. It is Palmer's Puddin' followed by Stick 'em In and Let 'em Go, Who's Your Daddy, and Choose to Cruise. Coming around the clubhouse turn and heading towards home, it is still Palmer's Puddin' with the lead, but it's a big battle going on for second spot right now. But the prize, of course, is winning and getting off of that maiden racetrack. It is going to be winning for the very first time. Congratulations to Palmer's Puddin'. And a big battle for second spot. Looks like it's going to be a close one to call. We'll have the official results for you shortly. But again, congratulations to Daryl Mason, Sherry Mason, and the number 5 horse, Palmer's Puddin', on picking up their first win in a time of 2:06.2. Now in the winner's circle, ladies and gentlemen, it's a parade of purple as the Masons are there with their winning horse this time around, Palmer's Puddin'. Congratulations to Daryl Mason, first time in the winner's circle today. Palmer's Puddin', trained by Sherry Mason, the 3-year-old bay filly by Ambro Baylor, out of Jamar's Tammy sired by Goalie Jeff. And of course, Palmer's Pudding owned by Daryl and Sherry Mason, and a time of 2:06 and 2. Palmer's Pudding no longer a maiden, winner of their first career win. On your program then, from top down, you can mark it 362 scratch 145. Again, 362 scratch 145. We'll be back in a couple of minutes' time with your payouts. Once again, at a time of 2:06 and 2, your winner in race number 6, Palmer's Puddin'. Palmer's Puddin' paid $6.70 to win, $7.20 to place, and $2.10 to show. Your number 2 horse was Who's Your Daddy at $2.10 to show, and your number 3 horse was Choose to Cruise at $2.60 to show. Your exacta paid $29.20, while your triactor paid $15.60. It's in the books. It's official. That's race number 6 from the Loop here in Winnipeg. We'll be back with the look ahead to race number 7 in a couple of minutes' time. All right, before the horses come onto the track for the post parade for race number 7, let's take a look ahead at this one and see exactly what it is we see as far as the orders of finish are concerned. Race number 7, I'm going to pick my first place horse is going to be Rare Built. Made his debut at the Loop last week, did not disappoint, winning by almost 10 lengths in an average time of 2:03 and 2. Today he starts one spot closer to the rail. He'll be pressed harder by this field, I think, than he was last week, but could easily post a winning time below 2 minutes. It'll be a repeat as far as I'm concerned for Rare Built, your number 1 horse coming into race number 7. As far as the second place is concerned, Seek and Destroy. Seek and Destroy, and that is exactly what this 3-year-old colt did last week. Showed some incredible late speed to pull away from the field and win by 11.5 lengths. It's going to be a 2-horse battle, but I'm giving the nod to Rare Built only because of post position. So your number 2 horse is going to be Seek and Destroy. For third place, I always like it, Louis Magui. I always love this horse. 3 weeks ago, the colt started 4th. Took the lead right off the first turn and never looked back, winning wire to wire, shown that he can do it and will benefit from starting first along the rail. Again, Louis Magui will challenge, but in the end will finish a strong third. So my picks for race number 7 are going to be 3, 2, and 1. And that's the way we're going to mark it. Michael Williams, the professor. Let's see what he's got to say. Mike?
Oh, thanks again, Frank. Congratulations, Palmer's Puddin'. Wire-to-wire performance for Daryl Mason, and looked good doing it. So congratulations to the combination of Daryl and Sherry Mason for a job well done in race number 6. We had a tough race here, Frank. I think this is one of the most even races the race secretary has put together this year. I really do. You look all the way down, and it's hard to really have a horse that would stand out. Even Seek and Destroy, The only real strong race he's had was last week, and he did it very convincingly in 2-1-1. And that's why I guess I took him, as well as you, for my number one pick in this race. He just looked like a monster last week doing it. But there is a but in this race, and he did pay $26 or $28 to win last week. But I'm going to take him again, just by the way he raced last week. But if you look at the 7-horse in this race, Cordy Jewels, right around just before the half-mile pole, was interfered with big time, and he really had to grab a hold of his horse. Still had to come on and make up a lot of real estate, and finished a very strong second, even though the last quarter was only 32 seconds. If that interference hadn't happened, in my mind, I really believe he would have beat Seek and Destroy, and I think he would have won the race. But he does have post position 7, so I really enjoy these two horses finishing first and second. Now take a look at Louis McGuey on the inside. You go back 2 starts ago, he paced a race in 2 minutes and 2/5, and he goes back to that race, he's going to Seek and Destroy. So it's not an easy race to pick, very difficult. I'm going to go with the 3, 7, and 1. A real nice horse race. We'll see everybody back in race number 8.
Thanks a lot, Mike. And yes, indeed, we are just a little under 10 minutes away from post time, and we will have the post parade coming up for you for this exciting race in a couple of minutes from now. Horses are coming out onto the track now for race number 7. So let's introduce you to everybody taking part in this 1-mile pace. Your number 1 horse is Louis McGuey, driven by Richard Remillard and trained by Don Hallett. Following in behind, the horse that blew everybody away with his debut last week. See if he can repeat again today. That is Rare Built, the number 2 horse, driven by Mark Fillion and trained by Trevor Williams. The number 3 horse, Seek and Destroy. That's driven by Daryl Mason, trained by Paula Mason. Your number 4 horse, Sassy Libby. Tyler Grundy on the reins, trained by Jacqueline Grundy. There's your number 6 horse, Irish Gene, driven and trained by Clayton Braybrook. And last but certainly not least, it is Sporty Jewels, driven by Blake Pinnock and trained by Trevor Williams. It's a 6-horse field for race number 7. Let's take a look and reintroduce them to you once more, folks. Starting from the inside along the rail and heading out, your number 1 horse is Louis Magui. The number 2 horse is Rare Built. Number 3, Seek and Destroy. Number 4, Sassy Libby. Number 6, Irish Jean. And number 7 is Sporty Jewels. The horses will line up behind the starting gate, and we are but mere moments away from pacing. The horses are set, 6 across. As we swing open the gates and let those ponies accelerate, it is race number 7 from the Loop. 13 degrees under a cloudy sky, north 21 our winds as we get it on a fast track. Starting down into that first turn, we have got Louis Magui taking the early lead, followed closely by Seek and Destroy. Louis Magui, Seek and Destroy, 1 and 2 right now, followed by Sassy Libby, Irish Jean, and then it is Sporty Jewels at the back of the pack. Louis Magui continues to lead the way as we head to the quarter pole at a time of 30 and 4, followed closely by Seek and Destroy. Then it's Sassy Libby, Irish Jean, followed by as well Sporty Jewels as we continue to stretch out. The top 3 horses, Louis Magui, Seek and Destroy, Sassy Libby, they've got a nice lead going on. Back of the pack, those starting to fill in and follow closely with Irish Jean, Rare Built, and Sporty Jewels. It is Louis Magui as we come around the turn towards the halfway point for the first time, but challenging now as we hit that half is Seek and Destroy, putting on some speed. 101 and 2, your halfway point, as Seek and Destroy passes and moves into the lead, followed by Louis Magui, Sassy Libby, and Irish Jean. Then rounding out the field, we still have Sporty Jewels and Rare Built. It's Seek and Destroy now going down the back stretch and just turning on some speed, lengthening that lead over Louis Magui, who's being challenged by Sassy Libby. We have got Louis Magui in second place. It is Seek and Destroy at a time of 1:30 and 4 as we pass the 3-quarter post. Seek and Destroy has got about an 8 or 9 horse lead going on. The battle is going to be for second place. Right now, it is Louis Magui being challenged by Sassy Libby. Seek and Destroy well in the lead, though, as we come around the final turn and head to home. It is Seek and Destroy with the lead, and it is going to be a battle for second place. Seek and Destroy is going to be your winner. It's just a matter of what the time is going to be. Seek and Destroy, 201 and 2, and then it's going to be Sassy Libby and Irish Jean coming in second and third. But again, your winner, home and cooled in a time of 201 and 2, is the number 3 horse, Seek and Destroy. It's official, ladies and gentlemen. At a time of 2:01 and 2, the Purple Parade heads into the winner circle once more as Daryl Mason picks up his second win in as many races. Seek and Destroy, your winner, trained by Paula Mason, driven by Daryl Mason, the 3-year-old brown colt by Smart Shake. Out of Outlaw Blue Danube, sired by Blue Burner. Owners are Paula Mason and Brad Colwell. Again, your winner at a time of 2:01 and 2, the number 3 horse, Seek and Destroy. So on your program, from the top down, mark it 461 2 scratch 35. Again, 461 2 scratch 35. We'll be back with the payouts momentarily. Once again, at a time of 2:01 and 2, your winner of race number 7, the number 3 horse, Seek and Destroy. Seek and Destroy paying $680 to win, $420 to place, and $260 to show. The number 2 horse was Sassy Libby, paying $1080 to place. And your number 3 horse, Irish Jean, paying $480 to show. Your exactor paid $52.30. Your triactor paid $237.30. Again, $237.30 for the triactor. Not bad jingle in your jeans to walk home with. That is it. The 7th race is in the books. We'll take a look at race number 8 in a couple of minutes' time. All right, folks, let's take a look ahead to race number 8. We've got triactor and exactor betting and late daily double betting as well for this one. So looking at race number 8, my number 1 horse that I'm going to take is the number 1 horse, Tough as Buff. A winner last week when he started first, faded as far back as 4th in that race, then found some late speed and determination as well, a little grit, a little grime, and next thing you know, finished strong and won by a half a length. Always a threat in any race as far as I'm concerned. Starting along the rail again this week will mean a repeat trip to the winner's circle for Tough as Buff and owner Alice Gilbert. Your number 2 horse this time around, I'm taking Amy Hanover. A 5-year-old always seems to be in the thick of things no matter what race they're in. Coming down the home stretch, they started 3rd last week but lost by only a half a length. 5th the week before and showed a strong 3rd. This time around is going to be a fun run, fun race to watch and to call for me as well. Get a spot on the fence early, folks, because this is going to be a tight finish. You're going to want to watch this one. So, again, the number 2 horse is going to be Amy Hanover. The number 3 horse this time around, I am taking Two Shoes to finish in the 3rd place spot. This horse that's going to make your triactor pay. Early 5-1 odds. Make this a nice choice to include in a boxed bet. Out of 12 races this year, this horse has finished 9 times in the top 3, including last week when he started 5th and led for 3/4 of the race. So again, in race number 8, I think it's going to be a great one to watch. Get your place early in line. It is going to be 1, 2, 6. Tough as Buff, Amy Hanover, and Two Shoes. That's my call. Let's turn it over to the professor, Mike Williams, and see what he has to say for race number 8.
Thanks, Frank. Congratulations to Daryl Mason. Back-to-back wins, 2 in a row, and going for 3 in a row next race. So Seek and Destroy combinations, Daryl Mason and Paula Masons, congrats. So let's go right to race number 8. It's going to be a natural hat trick for driver Daryl Mason, because I really like Amy Hanover here. This horse has been absolutely on fire. 2 starts ago, paced a mile and 58.3. Was racing against the best horses on the track with P.L. Jackson and H.F. Flower. So he's got a lot of class relief in this race here, and should be the dominating favorite here, in my opinion. Amy Hanover should have this race as he pleases. Horse for second, I'm going to go to the far outside, Two Shoes. This 6-year-old does his best racing near the front. Has to come out of post position 6, but one of the most consistent horses we have here at the Loop. Like Frank said, 9 out of 12 in the top 3. Pacey miles in and around 2 minutes every week. A danger threat to Amy Hanover. And a horse that's got all 8 wins in the 16 starts right here at the Loop. Toughest Buff, a good name for this horse, because he is a tough one, and he just does his best racing coming off the pace, and we're going to see one heck of a finish in here. But I'm going to stick with the 2, 6, and 1. Race number 8, the Daily Double. I like Amy Hanover, the 2 horse, with the 1 horse, Braxton's Boy, to end the day here at the Loop. We'll see everybody back in race number 9.
Yeah, I forgot actually. Thank you for reminding me there, Prof, about the Daily Double. So, yeah, race number 8 for me, it's going to be number 1, Tough as Buff. The other half of the Daily Double, race number 9, I'm going with the same half as you as well, Braxton's Boy. So, mark it 1 and 1 for me as far as your Daily Double is concerned. We are less than 10 minutes away from race number 8, and we will have the Call the Post for you coming up in a couple of minutes' time. All right, the horses are on the track for race number 8, ladies and gentlemen. Let's introduce you. Just past the grandstand, it was number 1, Toughest Buff, with driver Blake Panouf, trained by Trevor Williams. Your number 2 horse was Amy Hanover, driven by Daryl Mason and trained by Sherry Mason. There goes the number 3 horse, Marv the Rat, driven by and trained by Corey Manning. The number 4 horse just coming up right now, or pardon me, this is the number 5 horse coming up here right now. This is Little Screamer, driven by Tyler Grundy, trained by Trevor Williams. And there's horse number 4. That is Litazor, driven by Richard Remillard, and trained by Don Howlett. And last but certainly not least, coming up near the end, that is Two Shoes, your number 6 horse, driven by Dean Ray and trained by Denis Chapelet. Well, the horses have been called to the post, ladies and gentlemen, so let's reintroduce you to everybody taking part in race number 8 this afternoon. Starting from the inside rail and moving out, you've got the number 1 horse, Tough as Buff. Number 2 is Amy Hanover. Number 3, Marv the Rat. Number 4, Litazor. Number 5, Lil Screamer. And number 6 is Two Shoes. The horses will line up 6 across behind the starter's gate, and we are but mere moments away from pacing. The horses are set. As we swing open that gate and watch those ponies accelerate, it is race number 8 from the Loop, Red River Exhibition Park on a cloudy but cool Saturday afternoon. Heading into the early lead, it is Amy Hanover with Daryl Mason at the controls as Daryl looks for the 3-peat this afternoon. Followed closely by Little Screamer, Marv the Rat, Two Shoes. Following up the end, it is Litazor, and it is Tough as Buff. Amy Hanover with the early lead by about 2 lengths over Little Screamer as the horses are all spread out in single file. 29-1 your quarter opening time. Amy Hanover, Little Screamer, Marv the Rat, and Two Shoes make up your top 4, followed by Little Screamer, Tough as Buff. It is Amy Hanover, Little Screamer, Marv the Rat, and Two Shoes showing the way. 2 horses, actually, Amy Hanover and Little Screamer, have sort of separated themselves from the rest of the pack. They're close together, followed by everybody else as we come down the home stretch for the first time and head to the halfway mark. It is Amy Hanover at a time of 58-4. Decent opening half. Amy Hanover at 58-4 continues to lead the way, followed by Little Screamer, Marv the Rat, and Two Shoes as your top 4 horses. Amy Hanover now lengthening her lead over everybody else, now to about 3 lengths, with Amy Hanover leading Little Screamer, Two Shoes, and Litazor. And at the back of the field, it is Tough as Buff starting to make a bit of a move, trying to move up through the rest of the field. A lot of room to make up, though, as we head towards the 3-quarter pole at a time of 128-4. And that is Amy Hanover far and away ahead of everybody else. Unless there's some late speed, Amy Hanover is going to take this race. Two Shoes, Little Screamer, Litazor, they're all battling it out for second place right now, with Tough as Buff starting to make the move and get into the mix as well. It is going to be Amy Hanover cooled and coming home by, it looks like, a long bet for race number 8 this afternoon. Your winner is going to definitely be Amy Hanover, but look at that late speed from Tough as Buff to make second place, and it's going to be close, but it is going to be Two Shoes in third. But your winner at a time of 158-1, close but not a new track record, 158-1, your winner and the 3-peat. Congratulations to Daryl Mason and Amy Hanover, your winners of race number 8. It is official, ladies and gentlemen, and picking up that hat trick. Congratulations to Daryl Mason. Amy Hanover, your win at a time of 1:58.1, just 1/10 of a second off tying the track record. 1:58.1. Driven by Daryl Mason, trained by Sherry Mason. Amy Hanover, the 5-year-old brown gelding, is by Betting Line out of All-American Co-Ed. All-American Co-Ed sired by Dragon again. Owner Daryl and Sherry Mason, congratulations, guys. The winners of race number 8 this afternoon, Amy Hanover. So on your program, mark it from the top down, 216453. Again, 216453. We will be back with your official payouts in a couple of minutes' time. Once again, at a winning time of 1:58.1, congratulations to Amy Hanover, your first place horse in race number 8. Amy Hanover paid $240 to win, $410 to place, and $210 to show. Your second place horse was Tough as Buff. Tough as Buff paid $240 to place, $210 to show. No money on 2 shoes. Your Exacta paid $32.30. The Triactor paid $21.10. Again, the time, 1:58.1. The winner, race number 8. It's in the books. Congratulations to Amy Hanover and Daryl Mason on the natural three-peat. All right, folks, coming up, it's the big one of the day, the Big Daddy Rabbit, if you will. Race number 9. It is the final of the Golden Boy Stakes. So let's take a look ahead at race number 9 and see exactly what we think. As far as I'm concerned, this race is going to go to Braxton's Boy. I think Braxton's Boy is going to be the horse to beat. He's going to start on the rail, and I think it's going to be wire to wire. It's going to be Braxton's Boy taking the Golden Boy Stake winner's circle picture at the end. Number 2 horse is going to be Irish Luke. Blake Panook and Irish Luke have done some great things together this year, including back-to-back wins in September, but there's also been some stumbles along the way as well. A 5th place start that turned into 8th, a 2nd that became a 3rd, a 3rd that became a 4th. It's going to be a great race. I just see Braxton's Boy being a little more consistent, and that's the reason why I'm picking Braxton to beat Irish Luke. My number 3 horse for this 9th race is going to be Fancy That. Fancy That with Daryl Mason on the reins has shown an ability to work in their way up through the field, including a nice run in mid-September when a 4th place start turned into a win, moving their way through, like I said. Not looking for anything as dramatic today, but with a stake race on the line and the adrenaline pumping for both driver and horse, anything is possible. So for me, go with the $1, $2, $5, $6 box, and you got a chance to walk away and be in the money as well. So for race number 9, I am picking 1, 2, and 5. Let's turn it over to the professor, Mike Williams, and see if he agrees or disagrees.
Thanks again, Frank. Well, race number 8 did not disappoint. Amy Hanover, Daryl Mason, a natural hat trick. Just about a track record, 158-1, and sure looked good doing it. The Mason stable under Sherry Mason, they've been actually on fire the last few weeks. They've been doing a job well done. So congratulations to the connections of Daryl Mason and Sherry Mason, Amy Hanover. So let's go to the finale. And then we got one more week, next week, to end our good times we had here at the Loop until next year. So hope everybody shows up for the finale next week. We got one race to go, and that's the Golden Boy Stake Final. And I agree with Frank wholeheartedly here with Braxton's Boy. This horse won by 8 lengths, just about 8 lengths, 7 3/4 lengths last week. And he did it easy. He was on cruise control. And I think he's just too much in here. And I can't see anyone in this group of 5 that's going to really challenge all that much as far as the win is concerned. I agree with Irish Luke again for second. Did seem to race a little better last week. He does have 4 wins and 7 starts, but there's been a little race flat the last couple. It seemed to come to life a little bit last week, and I expect him to do a little better today. Should get just a perfect pocket trip behind Braxton's Boy, and don't even move until you hit the top of the lane, and who knows. For third, I'm going to go a little different than Frank on the third one. Here is Baylor Bobby with Clayton Braybrook, trainer Aiden Taggart. 6 for 9 in the top 3. He's been pacing miles. If you're looking for a long shot, this might be the one. He's been pacing miles in 2, 2, 3, and that's all these other horses have really been going, and he's never far out of it. So watch out when all the money's down. Baylor Bobby may have something to say. I'm going to stick with 1, 2, and 4, and we'll see everybody back next week for the finale of the Loop for the year 2023, and hopefully we'll see everybody there. Good luck.
It's going to be an exciting 2 minutes or so of racing coming up in not too distant future. It is the final for the Golden Boy Stake. Stick around. We'll have it for you in a couple of minutes from now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Golden Boy Stake Final. The horses are on the track for the post parade. Let's introduce you to everybody who's taking part in this, our ninth and final race of the afternoon. We've saved the big one, the best for last. Number 1 horse, that's Braxton's Boy, driven by Michelle Ray and trained by Richard Ray. Your number 2 horse, Irish Luke, with driver Blake Pinook and trained by Trevor Williams. Coming by the grandstand now, that's the number 3 horse, Super Fast, driven by Dean Ray, trained by Lorraine Ray. Your number 4 horse, Baylor Bobby, driven by Clayton Braybrook and trained by Aiden Taggart. And last but certainly not least, that's the number 5 horse, Fancy That, with Daryl Mason at the controls and trained by Sherry Mason. All right, the horses have been called to the post as they head down the back stretch. Let's take a look at who's taking part in the Golden Boy Stake Finals, starting from the inside, moving out. Your number 1 horse, Braxton's Boy. Number 2, Irish Luke. Number 3, Superfast. Number 4, Baylor Bobby. And number 5, Fancy That. 5 horses, they'll get themselves lined up behind the gate, and we are but mere moments away from pacing. They're lined up, 5 across and set. Swing open that gate and watch them accelerate. It is the Golden Boy Stake Final. It doesn't get much more Manitoban than that as we head into the first turn. And taking that early lead, it is Braxton's Boy, followed by Irish Luke, Superfast, Baylor Bobby, and Fancy That. 1, 2, 3, 4. The order they started is the order they are running right now as we head down that backstretch for the first time. Stretched out about a length and a half between each horse very evenly. Braxton's Boy is your early leader at 31 on the first quarter. Braxton's Boy followed by Irish Luke, Superfast, Baylor Bobby, and Fancy That. The field's starting to spread out a little bit more now with Braxton's Boy, Irish Luke, and Superfast separating themselves from Baylor Bobby and Fancy That. Braxton's Boy, Irish Luke, Superfast, Baylor Bobby, your top 4 as we come down the home stretch for the first time and head towards the halfway point. Braxton's Boy continuing to lead as he has from the very, very first, and it is going to be 102 even at the halfway point. 102 even. Braxton's Boy continuing to lead with Irish Luke, Superfast, Baylor Bobby, and Fancy That bringing up the rear of the pack. Still no change as we started right from the very beginning. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Spread out in single file as we head down that back stretch. Braxton's Boy as we head towards the 3/4 pole in the Golden Boy Stake Final. That's what we're watching, race 9, the final race of the afternoon here at Red River Exhibition Park. 1:32 and 3, your 3/4 time. Braxton's Boy now starting to lengthen the lead, and it's going to be a battle for second, as it quite often is this afternoon. Braxton's Boy is still in that lead and far away, actually, about 8-9 lengths in front of everybody else. Braxton's Boy still leading the way, followed by Irish Luke and Superfast. The horses are coming down the stretch towards the finish line. Braxton's Boy is going to be your winner for this race number 9, followed by Irish Luke and Superfast. At a time of 2:03 and 2, congratulations, the Golden Boy Stake Final winner, as predicted, Braxton's Boy. congratulations to Braxton's Boy, the winner of the Golden Boy Stake Final. Braxton's Boy paid $360 to win, $210 to place, and $210 to show. Your second place horse, Irish Luke, paid $210 to place, $440 to show. Your exactor paid $3. Triactor paid $15.60. The Daily Double paid $5.50. And your pick 4 paid $201.50. That'll do it for this afternoon here at the Loop. 9 races. Man, it goes by fast when you're having fun. Don't forget, we've got more racing coming up for you next Saturday. And next Saturday will be the final day of racing here at the Loop. Do hope you can join us. Post time is going to be 1 o'clock. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon and the evening with Witchy Wonderland, a not so frightfully good time. And again, we'll talk to you again next Saturday. Post time 1 o'clock here at the Loop.